All right. Would you like to do the intro or?
I could try. I hate doing the intros. So got to psych myself up now. Welcome to the... Oh, I forgot what it's called now. I got very you forget what it is. The Dorks Deduction, isn't it? That's what we're called.
Yeah, that's the one.
Welcome to the Dorks Deduction. Oh, no, I'm saying... You are listening to the Dorks Deduction, and you are listening to Chris and Matt.
Hello. Oh, yes. Hello there. Yes, this is the Dorks Deduction, and it's nice to see you, Matt. How you doing?
Fine, you know, not...
just fine?
Yeah, not great, but...
Oh, yeah, well, just got to keep hitting those books, right?
Yeah, they'll get better.
They'll get better.
As that song said, things can only get better.
I think he's dead now, so...
What, me?
No, the singer. Man.
That's the band Brian Cox was in, wasn't it?
What, the scientist guy?
Yeah, the scientist dude.
I thought he had a bit of rock star dripping off him.
Yeah. I think he was the keyboardist. I don't think he was anyone important.
Oh, well, he is now.
Yeah.
He's the scientist that's always on an E or something. I don't know. He's always happy about the universe. Yeah, I mean, you look at him and he's explaining physics, and he's just... you'd think he's touching himself while he's saying it because he's so happy.
I know.
Geomics and the physics and oh my God, the universe, you know.
Yeah.
It's just so nice how enthusiastic he is about it. But yeah, you've been as long as you're getting plenty of rest, you know, getting good sleep, don't have to worry. You'll refresh your brain.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully I'll do all right, but it's just you get into that stage because they're next week, so
of course.
I've got to make.
And whatever you do, don't listen to any catchy songs. Otherwise, you'll be thinking more about that than you will the actual phrase. Have you ever had one of those songs that sticks in your head and you can't sleep, or you can't switch off because it's still singing in your head? Kind
of. You do have that thing where there's that you've been listening to a song a lot recently, and it kind of stays with you.
A song that's stuck.
Yeah. I haven't had it recently, but I have had the odd song where it kind of just gets stuck.
Okay. Well, the other day, actually, I'll tell you. I have this little radio in my room, this alarm clock that usually is my go-to thing to wake me up if I need to get up. And it has a little radio alarm clock, so it's instead of just blinging off, it goes to a station or radio station preset. And but the problem with this is the little dial, it likes to move on its own somehow.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't do it instantly, it slowly does it. And obviously because it's got hours, you could wake up on any radio station. But I once woke up to this channel that was playing these songs from the 60s.
Yeah.
Really good songs as well. But one that I woke up with was this thing from, I can't remember what the band's called. It's a song called A Girl Like Jasmine.
Yeah.
I don't know if that rings a bell.
It vaguely does, actually.
What am I supposed to do? Yeah.
I don't know.
The Casuals.
The what?
The Casuals.
Casual.
They have a very, very... They're kind of like 60s, but they're not big 60s. They weren't a massive band. So when I first heard them, I didn't know who they were. But the song it enchanted me. It enchanted me because I was waking up to it as the sun was coming out. But they sing in a very old English tone, like accent. They have a bit... You find this with a lot of 60s bands. They have a slightly posh accent.
Yeah.
As they sing, like, instead of a girl like... it's like, a girl like Jasmine. It's like something you'd say out of Star Trek or something, But it's really good song. I had to listen to the lyrics. Obviously, I don't have that Shazam app, so I couldn't look it up instantly. Remember the lyrics, come downstairs. And in a way, that's what got me up that day. Because I wanted to find out what the song was. But
I hate that. When you hear a song, particularly if you're like in a taxi or something, and it's on the radio or in a shop, and you can't hear what they say when they say what the song is.
Exactly. Yeah, you're scrambling to remember words that they're saying.
Yeah.
And you think, I can type it in my notebook, but how am I going to remember this later? And sometimes when you just remember the tune, but you can't just go to someone, do you remember this tune? You remember that?
Yeah, see, I'm terrible at that. I tried to get... I was telling Tarmin about... it's a song by the Communards. Don't Leave Me This Way or something like that, it's called. And it starts because he's quite a high-pitched singer. And Tarmin told me try singing it. So I tried singing it in a really high-pitched voice, but it didn't go that well. And it was awful.
I can't imagine you doing a high pitch.
It's different. I'm not going to try it now because I might scare away whatever listeners we have.
Later on, though, at some point in the year, we'll get you to sing that song.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you got to focus.
Don't let that song get on you. Crocodile clips on my testicles or something like that, I might be able to sing it. I'm trying to make out that I've got a really deep voice now.
Yeah.
It's really difficult
no secret,
for me
man.
to
You
get
got
a high voice. Yeah.
I don't think it's possible for us actually, because we come to a certain point where we can't actually go any higher.
Yeah.
We go and then as we go to that same octave, it stays the same. Our voice just crackles out because it's become impossible now.
Yeah. So do you know what's actually weird about high voices in Queen? A lot of people think Freddie Mercury had a really high voice. It's actually Roger Taylor, the drummer.
Really?
Yeah. There's some of their songs he does literal really high pitched screams, and that's Roger Taylor, the drummer. He actually had a wider vocal range than Freddie Mercury.
Wow! And so he just stayed on the sideline with that.
Yeah, but he wasn't as good as a singer. Yeah, he had more range, but it wasn't quite as good as Freddie Mercury.
And of course, voice. Freddie was the showman as well. I mean, he had a presence on stage as well.
Yeah.
He could. It wasn't just about singing for him. It was all about that whole theatrical produce as well. He could, when he puts on that king's robe and walks down the stage, he can do it in a swagger that no one else can mimic. Classic band, classic Queen, classic tune.
Yeah. I love their Wembley tour kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. It's also because by that point you've got most of the classic Queen song by then. So
and they recite all the ones you know.
Yeah,
it's that perfect period of enough has happened where they have the right songs, and yet it's still in the perfect area where they don't have to worry about what happens in the future. It's some of those tours. It's entered one of the best. In my book, it's one of the best concerts you see. It's up there with Metallica in Moscow.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh man, it's actually quite a sight. They went to Moscow and did a free concert.
Yeah.
I think about 1.5 million people turned, or 2 million people turned up, and part of the Moscow army was there. There was choppers flying about.
Yeah.
It looked like a war zone, but everyone was just having a really good time. It was amazing to look at. It's crazy though. Yeah. Well, I think we should get onto this subject of ours, shall we?
I was going to say my song. It's Roxy Music, and it's Avalon. It's a really good song. It's from a classic
music.
80s kind of song.
Yeah, there's something nice about classic 80s, isn't there?
Yeah. I get obsessed with 80s songs, which is really odd.
Well, it's a summer feeling as well, isn't it, really? I mean, you always think Miami Vice when you think 80s, but I've never heard anyone listening to 80s in winter. It's definitely a summer period. Yeah,
it's there's the Billy Idol song, Eyes Without a Face. I'm not really too into his other song, but you just find that odd song of someone's and you just really like it. And you don't care much about their other stuff, but this one song you think's really good.
I know what you mean. Sometimes I find a band, for example, Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
I like a couple of Rod Stewart songs, like "Do You Think I'm Sexy" and "Young Turks."
I haven't heard of it.
But a lot of his other stuff, I'm either ignorant of, or I just didn't think it. You feel like I should get into their other stuff, because if I'm going to like this guy, I should at least give him a try with his other stuff. But sometimes you can't. There's a reason that was their popular song.
I'm a massive Roxy Music fan though at the moment.
Oh yeah,
nice. Yeah. So we better get on to Loch Ness then, I suppose.
Well, yeah, let's dive on in.
Good one there, Chris.
You should.
Does the microphone
that's when the intro
pick
thing
up
comes
applause?
Sorry?
Does the microphone pick up applause, do you think?
Microphone?
Do you think it will pick up applause if I start clapping?
Oh, give it a try.
Does that work?
It didn't come up on mine, but if it came up on yours, that's fine.
We'll see.
I can add in
a drum roll.
I'll edit in a drum roll and I'll put in an applause after the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so I think now, obviously this is all just filler. This part, the intro song will come in.
Filler,
and then we get into our...
I said filler, I barely know her.
This can't be filler. This is A gold shit.
Nice.
Welcome to the Dorks Deduction Podcast, where we talk about stuff.
Anyway,
yeah,
Loch
so
Ness.
Loch Ness. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Yes. Loch Ness, City of Apples. Okay. Yes.
Really?
So, Loch Ness. This episode, we're going to be talking about the notion of Loch Ness, Nessie, and, the mystery of the sea monster. Yes.
Yeah, it should be pointed out, Loch Ness is the actual Loch monster.
Yeah.
Does it have a name, actually? Nessie, is it?
Sorry?
Is it just called Nessie?
Nessie. I think there was a Scottish name for it, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
They usually have multiple names, don't they?
Yeah.
Barry.
That's the name of my dog, actually.
Oh, really? Did you name it after the Chuckle Brothers?
We didn't, actually. It was, my sister just came up with it, but now I think of it, we probably should have done.
I was going to name my if I got a new cat, I would call it Shabba.
Yeah.
Shabba Ranks. So that whenever I called it in at night, I'd just shout, Shabba! Shabba! Yeah.
Is that from a song?
Anyway,
I'm sure I've heard that.
It is, yeah.
I can't remember what it is.
Mr. Loverman.
Oh, Mr. Loverman.
Loverman.
I love that
Shabba.
one.
Mr. So I'd be, pop on the instrumental, get ready at the door, and just start singing the cat in. And it would actually come as well. I'd train it. But yeah, Loch Ness. I think there's always been a bit of a mystery with the sea. I've had a fascination with it. I don't know what it is, but the fact that we've explored all of the world now. There's no uncharted areas, unknown islands, Obviously, Brazil's still got a bit of mystery to it, but the sea is still an aura of mystery that we'll never know or be able to conquer. I think there's something really fascinating about that.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, I remember you said before, it's a very hostile environment.
It is, yeah. I think also, there's like lots of mysteries at sea as well. A lot of unsolved even like within the last year or so, we've had that plane that disappeared.
Yeah. And it's like when someone gets lost in a desert, once you're lost over the sea, there's not really much anyone can do to find you. Even in an internationally aware world like this, where we have the highest technology we've ever had, tracing equipment, there's just not much that can be done when you disappear or go off the radar, because it's that vast and there's so much to that sea. And it's stuff like that. The legendary bloop. Have you heard of that?
I have not.
Well, it's stuff like that which makes me think, hang on, there must be more. Like back in, I think it was the 1980s. Hold on, let me check. There was a massive sound called the bloop, and, well, it registered on a whole bunch of radars, ranging from, I think, around... Oh, it was in 1997, all around the Pacific. And apparently the only thing that can make such a noise like that was either a tectonic shift, which wasn't registered, or a gigantic life form. You can actually hear it. All it is a boop.
Yeah.
But it's a movement of such colossal stature that, it's quite a mystery. And it didn't happen again for a while, and no one knows what it was. So it's stuff like that. The sea's so vast, it's viable that there could have been some sort of colossal creature stirred from its sleep or something. And I think that's where a lot of the mystery with the Bermuda Triangle and the sea itself comes from. It's almost romantic in how dangerous or unknown the place is. And whenever we see something like Nessie as a legend crop up, we can't help but partake in it. It's just something we need to have, because has anyone ever tried to search Loch Ness?
Yeah, quite a lot of people have. There's a particular case. I think he's called Bob Rhines or something. He's an American millionaire.
Bob Rhines.
I think he's dead now, actually,
though. Conspiracy.
Yeah, but he tried searching Loch Ness for years to find the monster, but he never did.
He was a true believer.
Yeah, and he died disappointed.
You know what? He died doing what he loved. He didn't come to the end of the Grail, but to be honest, would you want to?
What, find the actual Loch Ness monster?
Well, that's the thing. Like, these people, they want so much to believe it. They go trying to find it.
But it would actually...
And once you find it, what are you going to do? You're going to get eaten? Is that fine? Yeah. There's two ways you can come out of this, and they're not both happy ways.
I haven't actually thought of it like that, actually.
It's like a dog chasing a car. What's he going to do when he catches it? But there you go. I do like the idea of all these believers, because no one's ever been able to prove anything. You can't drain the lake.
Yeah.
They don't. You remember those on Time Team? They have like equipment that can look under the ground. Obviously, it has to be of a very set area, but you can look if you have this special equipment, like an X-ray machine or something, but for dirt.
Yeah. I've heard about these kind of things. That they can find like dead bodies and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, but you'd think there would be something that could. And water's not the same solid material. I mean, there must be some way to actually look through Loch Ness. I mean, it's a massive place, but I don't know. It's just if there was some truth to the mystery, we would have found it by now, at least.
There would,
especially if it's a monster that's that big.
Yeah, there would be like some kind of evidence of its existence. Because I think they found an old kind of like dinosaur, didn't they? I think at some point.
Oh, did they?
But it's what's it called? A plesiosaur or something like that.
Okay.
Or
was it one of those
plesiosaur?
I thought it had a platio in it. One of those ones with the kind of like a sea wings and
possibly it's a fish-eating one, so that's why they think it's said to have been known to exist in that kind of area all those years ago. So it's a plausible kind of theory that it would have died.
When the oceans dried up, they kind of got isolated and these lakes were formed, I suppose.
The only problem is, for it to exist nowadays, it couldn't, because it's of the coldness of the water.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be able to survive. So the idea that it's still alive now is kind of...
Is a bit of a push, yeah. That's the thing, we can't be sure what's evolved and what hasn't. At the same time, are you a believer, Matt? I'll ask you the question straight.
No.
I think we're on the same boat here then.
Yeah.
Because everyone has... another thing that supports your evidence right there, but also supports the evidence of I don't think I believe, is the fact that a whole bunch of other cultures have their own versions of Nessie.
Yeah.
Like Loch Ness Monster is obviously the most famous one, but in Argentina they have Nicholito, which is kind of the same. It's supposed to be a plesiosaur. Ishi in Japan is a famous lake monster. But then you've got like the Tianchi monster in the Alpine Lake in China, around or North Korea. It's one of those, and the Bronzo Dragon, which actually sounds way better in Western Russia. There's just a whole bunch of these other sightings. One of my favourites is in Iceland, because obviously they have a different name for the word dragon, which is worm. So they have fucking weird words. So there's the Lagerfeuerts worm, which is fucking awesome. But then again, they also believed in trolls and shit. So there you go.
Iceland sounds like an interesting country.
Iceland does. And they also, I was watching Eurovision the other night, and they even when they're singing, they have a really weird accent. I mean, Björk, we all know Björk, lovely Björk. Yeah. She was like their biggest export at one point, wasn't she? Yeah. So much that they actually made a little home for her, a hut, on this island off the coast of Iceland.
Yeah.
And it's a really isolated hut that can only be accessed by helicopter. But it looks really peaceful, and I think she appreciated that. But yeah, all these different sightings, these different legends, it supports what you said about the oceans drying up, so all these other ones got stranded in different areas. Maybe there were sightings, you never know, but
yeah, I don't disbelieve that people have seen things and thought, oh, that's the Loch Ness Monster, or something like that. Yeah. That I'm not like saying that some of these people are deluded in that they've seen something, but I just don't think it's a monster. I just think it's some kind of, maybe like a trick of the light or something. You know, you get plenty of like optical illusions and stuff like that. Things that you think you see in like a moment or something like that. And I think a lot of like the footage that's been captured, it's been proved that it could just as easily be an otter or something like that. And also the fact that with cameras you can manipulate images and stuff like that. So there's nothing anywhere near concrete evidence for this Loch Ness Monster. So,
well, it would make sense. I mean, but if you think about it, there's certain monsters that still existed in certain times, like with humans anyway. For example, the pyramids. Remember the pyramids? They were built while the woolly mammoth was still alive. Yeah. You know, and that kind of blows your mind a little bit, because you associate woolly mammoths with, you know, really ancient Neanderthals and stuff like that. But obviously the pyramids are quite old. But Christ, these old creatures could have survived for a while. But
isn't there a case?
Yeah.
Was it a mammoth or was it a really old elephant? I can't remember. You know, when they were building the Channel Tunnel or something like that, They were digging and they found the skeleton of this old... I think it was a mammoth. I'm pretty sure it was. And it is... Yeah, they found the old bones of this old mammoth. Trying dig up for the Channel Tunnel.
There's something really ancient and interesting. That must have been such a crazy aura.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, things existed, but it's generally accepted that most of these kind of creatures died or like evolved into something different.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I remember they tried to... they had some mammoth remains.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were trying to restore it or something out of a sci-fi film. But, yeah, like, it's just knowing that even with the actual remains of them, like, you think to yourself, it's possible for things to... I'm not ruling out that there could be things deep in the ocean still running around. But like you said before, the ocean has a way of affecting the human brain or its eyesight or something, or making us see things that we either want to believe or, we're having a hard time to think in our own minds. That's where that whole ghost ship phenomena came in, where it would be floating on the edge of the horizon because of the sea's trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Also, I think, depending on kind of what time of day you see it, if you see it kind of when it's getting darker, then it's, it's just possible, it's just how dark it is. That's why you start to see things, It's kind of... And with ghosts as well, I can kind of understand why some people might think they've seen a ghost, but I don't actually believe it's a ghost there.
It's really disjointing when someone who's honest as hell, has always been, like, truthful to you and they have no reason to lie to you, and then they say out of nowhere, no, I've seen a ghost, and you think to yourself, oh fuck, maybe that's true. Like, they have such detailed, they know what they've seen and they're so honest about it, and they're not lying. You can tell that they're not lying, so you think maybe they did see something, or they're just believing so hard themselves that they've seen something. But something about that's really creepy, because they have no reason to lie about that.
Yeah.
And yet they swear they've seen it. And sometimes it could be a trick of the light, and sometimes we could just be ignorant and not realise that there's something out there that's still floating about,
But I remember it was actually someone saying a thing about ghosts is it's meant to scare like some people. But I remember, I think it's like Stanley Kubrick was saying, isn't it actually a positive thing? It's a sign that there's some kind of afterlife. So kind of why do we look upon it negatively?
I think that's a really good point, actually, the association of death.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's to do with the fact that if you do believe there's an afterlife and you're not meant to see it, if there's someone still floating about, there must be something wrong, or there must be some uneven revelation that you need to appease, or, I don't know. Maybe they're just thirsty or something. But yeah, it would make sense. I mean, I wouldn't want to just die and then all my skills go to waste. Like, what am I going to do with my CV then?
Yeah.
Like, it'll just be a piece of paper. Fuck.
I don't know. I quite like the sense of an ending. This is getting quite philosophical now.
It is getting, isn't it? Starting off with a bloody monster in a lake.
No, well, I quite like the sense of like an ending, kind of like a narrative almost.
Yeah,
the sense of it.
I can understand that.
Being over.
You don't want to go like Scrubs and live past your sell-by date.
Yeah, good point.
You want to go like Friends.
Yeah.
Had a full life. Even 30 Rock. Only had 7 seasons.
I don't want to be like Bruce Forsyth. Just go on and on and on forever.
Dude, I think that guy's already dead. Yeah. He's just twitching really well. That guy, he just doesn't show his cracks.
They should have him on like The Walking Dead or something. That'd be brilliant.
The fastest zombie. That'd be the creepiest shit ever. Him doing his Brucey walk towards you.
The thing is like Brucey, like zombie talking with like Brucey's voice. That'd just be brilliant. Nice to see you, nice. Just as he's about to like bite into your arm or something.
See, we can make the best kind of show, just take the best bits of our show and just camp it up a little somehow.
Yeah.
Take all the best characters from British TV. Mr. Humphreys, what's his name? Pike from Dad's Army.
Yeah. Oh, a
zombie version of them. Oh, lovely.
I tell you what, we could put have every serious film made and just like put like Bruce Forsyth into it or something like that. It'd just be brilliant.
Yeah. The Bourne Supremacy co-starring Bill Forsyth.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings with 4 words by Bill Forsyth. Yeah, I could see that. That could work.
Yeah, this would be like. I think this is an idea we've got to like put forward to some film channel or something.
The horror channel is the only people that will actually look at that and go, keep talking. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
There's no way you could sell something like that onto BBC.
No.
But yeah, or Bill Forsyth in a Nessie crossover. You never know.
Well, as the Loch Ness monster.
As the Loch Ness monster, just a long neck with Bill Forsyth's head at the end of it. Crikey, that would be creepy.
That would.
Oh God, I think we found it. I think we found our next horror film.
Yeah. Well, we are film students. We should be able to make this reality.
And that's the best we've come up with so far.
We're bound to be success.
Bill Forsyth, Deep Impact. Nice.
Deep Impact. That sounds dirty.
So yeah, my verdict on Nessie is I don't believe in the Loch Ness monster. I really wanted to. I mean, it would be, it'd be bloody frightening to know that there's a giant creature out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure that boat sails would drop because we are humans after all. We do that. But something about it would just be so cool to know that there's a giant creature swimming out there, even in just a lake, just to know that it's there. There's more mystery that we haven't discovered because let's face it, when we discovered everything, when the Americas got discovered, when we developed satellites and all the continents were charted, we lost something. We lost that mystery of the world,
Yeah.
I keep liking the idea that we're going to go into the polar ice caps and discover something major hidden in the snow or something like in The Thing. But yeah, until we go deeper into, that's why I love watching those programs where they discover different or new fish.
Yeah.
And it's like deep in the Mariana Trench, and there's extra shit, and there's a fucking seahorse, but most of its guts hanging out its eyes. Oh my God, I love that sort of shit. Like here's a shark, but it's got a penis on its eyeballs. I love that sort of stuff because they're so weird. Oh no, but never say never.
That's the wishful thinking.
The giant squid.
It's wishful thinking.
It's very wishful thinking. The giant squid, though, they believe is out there. Deep, because they've seen some sort of evidence to it. And these squid just keep getting bigger and bigger the deeper they go. So I like the idea that there's an actual kraken,
Yeah.
And he's deep enough that he don't come out and bothers anyone.
Yeah.
He just wants to sleep.
There's actually there's quite an interesting theory about the Loch Ness monster that I was reading up about. And it's the idea that it might be a circus elephant that somehow ended up in the water.
Actually, looking at this picture, it makes more sense when you say that.
There's a photo that compares, they think it could have been like a trunk of an elephant that some people saw. Or something like that. An elephant that can swim quite well, I'm guessing.
Because they can, can't they? Elephants. Bloody hell, it does. It looks like a bloody elephant.
So yeah, it's not
a drowning elephant, but an elephant nonetheless.
It's not an entirely stupid thing.
And sometimes,
I suppose.
When you look at the water ripples around the picture, that famous picture anyway, you kind of, I'm not a professor on this shit, but you can kind of get an idea of how big the object is by looking at the water. And it just looks like a tiny little seahorse or just a trunk, actually, like you said. It doesn't look like a massive monster at all. Yeah,
I think it's just one of those things people would love to believe that it is this weird monster that we haven't discovered, because it kind of makes them, special, I suppose, in a way that they've seen it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just imagine how much revenue Nessie's legend has garnered already.
Yeah. We were talking about David Letterman earlier. There's he did a parody of documentary about Bigfoot. It's this idea that there's people that of the town keep the mystery alive by creating Bigfoot prints for tourists, because it keeps them coming in and because it funds the town and stuff like that. And it's that idea that it's kind of a tourist industry now. People literally go to Loch Ness just for a chance to see the monster, and it's just one of those things that
I fully support that. I remember there was that really crap footage of Bigfoot they passed off as the real deal quite a few years back, and it's just him walking off looking back like an Asbo, what the fuck are you looking at, and then walking on again. And I think it was proven that was from a blue movie or something, like an extra that they didn't use. Or I love how the only footage anyone ever finds is always the shittest codec quality. You think at this point they'd be like, well, maybe actually I'll take a second picture just to be sure, or it's always just one picture. And it's fuck. There you go.
Yeah, because like in this video, it's they see Bigfoot's feet, and he's wearing like an ankle chain and everything. And it's clearly like you don't see the rest of him, and it's clearly just like fake hair and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think it's just like people just like to get off that kind of thing, I suppose.
Well, people like what do they call them? Cryptologists, zoologists, or cryptologists?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the ones that specialize in mythical creatures and stuff. It's the most the most useless talent you can have, and yet one of the most fascinating, because I love reading their articles. They even categorize these monsters like a wiki in different sections, like the lycanthrope, the chupacabra. Oh, it's just wonderful to read, because you discover all these monsters that you never knew were supposed to exist.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, they actually do list some real ones, like the narwhale, which I only recently discovered is real. Imagine my surprise when I'm watching David Attenborough talk about the narwhal, and it just blew my mind. And you think to yourself, well, some of these are real, so maybe it adds a bit of license to it. It makes it a bit more genuine when they actually do that.
Yeah.
But I love that stuff. I really love seeing how passionate they are about these things that may or may not exist.
Yeah, because like in the documentaries I've seen about people who search for like the Loch Ness monster or have seen it, it's, I think what puts their like theories down is the fact that they're so vague.
Yeah,
you'd have more like belief in them if they were kind of a bit more detailed. It's always, I just saw a slightly dark figure going through the sea. I mean, it's not exactly.
I have a bit more like. He also had this stripe going down the middle of his body.
Yeah,
it has no ears. You know, everything. Just give me everything. It had a scaly. A swagger to it.
Even if they added it, like it kind of made a sound or something, that would, kind of add a bit more detail to it.
We have so much detail and effort in trying to find this thing, and when the day it finally decides to show up, when we just stand there like, it's grey. I can't quite see it though. Let me get out my Instagram and put it on black and white. Maybe that will help.
That would be great if you found the Loch Ness and the first thing you did was just Instagram it.
Put on your sepia tone. You get eaten, and everyone's going to call it fake.
I just like the hashtag Loch Ness. That's going to be brilliant.
Perfect. So, I mean, we pretty much both agree on it. I think some of these people... It's a harmless legend, and I love a legend that adds something to a certain area.
It's like, I mean, people say it's harmless, but is it kind of, you could argue it is like defrauding tourists who come, but then it's of their own will, I suppose, isn't it, mainly? I know, it's
economical to the community, I suppose. While I'm sure that I don't think it's on the same level as, say, those psychics that try to exploit, grieving families that their loved ones are still in the afterlife and they're trying to communicate to them. I think it's on another level where it's just a friendly attraction. If you want to,
I mean, it's like most tourist places. There's a reason why you go to visit them, and it's sometimes based on like myths or exaggeration, like the truth. And
to a point, you love it's a myth, but you still buy it, like the little plushie or something, because it's a little symbol of the town. And it's definitely put Loch Ness on the map anyway.
Yeah. There was actually another thing that I read, that in the Scottish lakes, there's plenty of like actual monster myths as well. It's not just like Loch Ness. It's quite a wide thing, even in Scotland.
Oh yeah. It's they have. Well, it makes you think, because it's such a far north area that it wouldn't be surprising to find some remains or something of monsters back then. Especially in the valleys and stuff, It's such a peaceful area, especially in a place where there's not much built-up town and there's a lot of country. Yeah. You think to yourself, it wouldn't be surprising for there to be some sort of undiscovered wildlife out here in this remote area. And I think that's why I like it. It's harmless fun. Anyone that buys into it are doing it because it's fun, and it's not harming anyone. So I think it's a nice little legend. I don't believe it, but I love to support the idea.
And to be fair, most of the people who are into like searching for it are really rich. So it's their money to waste, essentially, really.
Exactly. So it's going to the community, so that's fine. If anyone wants to, the only point where I draw the line is if anyone starts to drain the lake, like that one Simpsons episode. That's when I'd say,
a bit stupid.
Father Christmas isn't real, mate. Just pop the pump down. You've gone too far. So nice. I think at this point we can wrap it up here and say, don't believe in Nessie, but
Nice idea.
Carry on. Yeah. Carry on, dear boy. Carry on.
That's a film.
I might not find the truth at the bottom of the lake, but maybe I'll find an answer at the bottom of this brandy bottle. Drink on, dear boy, drink on.
That could be it. Scotland, they do sell a lot of whiskey there.
I've just come up with a really good idea for that, actually. You get a special kind of beer bottle where once you've drunk all the beer, you can see a picture of Nessie at the bottom.
Yeah. That'd be brilliant.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it? A little thing to add on there. Patented now.
Yeah, that's your idea. You're the one getting money for
Damn straight. And I'll become a millionaire and drain the loch. Perfect. Nice. All right. Oh, thank you guys for listening. I've been Chris, and he's been Matt.
I have, at times, tonight.
You have. And Brucey is Brucey. So thank you guys for listening.
Forever, so.
He will be with us forever. He will outlive us.
It's like God. He hears everything.
Don't say his name 3 times in a mirror at night.
Well, have you learnt that from experience?
I've said it twice, but then my mirror started to shake, and I heard scratches behind it, so I thought, best leave it, eh? Best leave it.
Yeah. I think I nearly did that once, and I nearly lost my wig.
You're going to pay, Matt. To pay.
Where's that?
Well, nice one. We've been the Dorks Deduction, and you've been wonderful.
Yup.
Signing off.
Good night.